Allegedly, it's just the word allegedly. It's what I heard allegedly. It's on the street allegedly. I sing to the beat allegedly. Allegedly, allegedly, it's what I heard allegedly. It's just the word allegedly. Don't blame, don't sue allegedly. It won't help you allegedly. 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 Bitch, one of you was flat. Well, now that we've gotten love and hip hop out of the way, I wanted to find out more about Jock and Rafiqal. However, we have more updates, and I just couldn't go to bed without squawking on this one more time. This is the second shift. For those who couldn't have made it in the morning, here we are in the evening. In the morning, in the evening, ain't we got somebody else's business? So, there is new information. The door is open for new voices and old. Thank you, Aaron, for joining me consistently. You definitely know how to have a conversation and how to keep a conversation moving.
Well, thank you. I hope you don't mind if I join. I did bring
No,
news.
I want you in here, please. No, no, we want you here. Oh, I haven't gotten to talk to you about this. Oh, Lord. So, no bail, no bail, no bail. Everybody give me a deep no bail, no bail, no bail. This opens up so many Halloween costume ideas.
Oh, wow.
I mean, from dressing up like, oh my God, the best group costume ever! Going as the 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, going as the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Oh my God.
Just make yourself a gallon drum and put lube on the front. Get one of those giant barrels.
Travel size ones and put them all over you. Because I don't think they were big bottles. They had to be those travel size bottles. You can't have that much freaking baby oil. It had to be the little travel size ones.
Well, it's baby oil and lube, right? You know, I mean,
I guess.
Listen, nobody was excited to be there, apparently.
Clearly.
I mean, what in the heck kind of slip and slide? Listen.
They were the big bottles. Somebody's telling me they were the big bottles. Everybody's saying they were the big. I mean, we have really, like, Johnson & Johnson is getting such interesting press out of this.
Go to Costco, look for the value pack size, slap a few on you.
Were they Johnson & Johnson? Were they Baby Fresh or were they aloe vera?
Oh my God.
We are invested.
You could be an IV bag because apparently those were ordered for after IV bags and cleanup.
I mean, now the IV bag thing, that's not that abnormal. If we remember, Eugene has a whole business where he goes to your house and gives you, medical grade IVs for after a night of drinking, or if you're not feeling well. That's like an a la carte medical service thing that like a lot of people get that like aren't even doing that much. They just want to be healthy.
Yeah, no, I think heck, I would get one on the regular if I wanted to have that kind of expenditure. No, I'm just joking at all the different elements of it. Bottles and bottles upon bottles. They pop in lots of bottles. Some lube and baby oil.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my, ma'am. I just saw a whole skit in my head. We popping bottles Diddy style, and it's just
Oh
a twist
no.
up childproof cap of baby oil, and then it's a baby oil.
Oh my goodness.
I saw it all so clear pop. Oh my God. This is
He
so
offered up his
delicious. It's got to
mansion,
be fattening.
his
Hey,
mama passport.
how do I pronounce that? Is it Kai?
Hi, you pronounce it Kai?
Kai. Nice to meet you. I love that picture.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I kind of just jumped in. I was busy downloading the app, so I'm not sure exactly where you guys left off.
You can come in anywhere. We're on 1,000 bottles, and we we might
Yeah.
be there for a while.
We popping
Well-
bottles of lube, Kai. That's what we're doing.
Well, first off, I just wanted to say, Alex, real quick, I adore you. I've been watching you since like I think 2015, 14. You've gotten me through so much hard times. You're hilarious. You're intelligent. So I'm so excited to be able to talk to you and everyone else.
Oh God, thank you. And yes, Khalil is right. You have a soothing voice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I have a bit of an accent. I'm from the Virgin Islands, so I hope everyone can hear me and understand me well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just wanted to comment real quick on the psychology behind everything that's going on because I went to undergrad for psychology, and I just find it really just overwhelming, the idea that so much people of power are probably partaking in this, people that we may or may not have looked up to, or people that sell products or are in industries that we indulge in, um, because they're so powerful, and after a while the normal everyday things that give regular people dopamine hits no longer serves them, so they have to continue to up the ante. So I'm just interested in finding out like all of the other powerful people that are doing similar things and how they're going to be brought to justice as well as a consequence of this stuff.
Yes, we like now that we know about Diddy and the fact that today we also found out there were over 300 subpoenas. 300 subpoenas, including and not limited to. Let me read. Where's that article? That's the indictment. Okay, here it is. Records obtained by over 300 subpoenas and other voluntary productions, meaning snitches. These materials come from over 100 entities and individuals, including communications providers, Verizon, tech companies, so even like your DMs, social media companies, more DMs, banks and financial institutions, airlines, hotels, motels, and the Holiday Inn, car services, and other travel-related companies, escort services. Girl, they called the hoes direct. They said, let me book you. No, you can keep your clothes on for this one, girl. Or boy, because it seemed to be a lot of men's. And even the defendants' companies and wealth management firms.
Oh my God.
Trafficking. They want to show a through line, baby. They want to show the travel. They want to show the payment. They want to show the extortion, the blackmail, the act in and of itself. They will show the lube to support. They will. And I mean, I joke, and this is serious, but I mean, some
we
things
gotta
have
laugh. We gotta
some
laugh to
things.
keep from. We gotta laugh. We gotta laugh through this.
Yeah.
We gotta find because
So,
it's we're not mocking the victims. We're mocking his
absolutely not.
ass.
We're so happy
Because
there's going to be justice. Let's say that. And you want to know, to throw a little psychic juice in here real quick. Today is a supermoon. It is a full moon in Pisces, and it is also a partial eclipse. And on events like that, the truth comes to light and powerful things end. How fitting that on a day like this, the reign of Diddy ends. The reign of terror. Is that my Ray Ray all day? Hey, friend.
yes,
But anyway, just throw a little psychic, juju on it. And we're back.
That is a good point. That it aligned right up with this.
It did.
And this is his first of many nights in confinement. That judge said, "You staying in there till the trial." Oh my goodness. I mean, the scope of this is beyond incredible. And when that man said, "If you have any knowledge, you need to contact us immediately, call 1-800-YOU-SQUEAL," and had that phone number ready, I was like, "Oh, they are there. You should have cut your deal before I got on stage. You need to be at the office now trying to slice that deal with a knife and fork."
And another thing about this real quick is the thing with Epstein is he, escaped justice from that whole situation because of what happened to him. But I highly doubt that's going to happen to Diddy. We have so much coverage of it. So we're actually going to see everything come to fruition. We're going to see them be able to bring down the entire house of cards, and all of the victims are going to be able to come out with their stories. So that's interesting as well.
Let's see. Yes. It's also, now that they have the tapes confirmed, now that they know who was being blackmailed, who was, more of a, who was also enjoying his type of sadist behavior. Because if he was hurting people, there were other people that he was with that enjoyed beating on women. He wasn't the only one. Mm-hmm. So we're going to find out some other men that were violent as well.
Yep.
A lot of hands are dirty, and I mean, I can't believe Joe Budden was right when he was like, everybody, the silence about this is deafening. And that's because people knew the shit is about to hit the fan. And this is like somebody took the fan, put it in a toilet, let somebody use the bathroom, then leave. Then Diddy walked in there and they just turned the fan on right as he took the lid off the toilet.
Karma.
Kalina,
Toilet style.
Has it been past 10 minutes?
Yes, it's been past 10 minutes.
Kalina, bitch, you ain't shit. You got caught. You got caught 54 times. Y'all done got that tired social media post straight. And we didn't believe it then. Even though Don, Heifer, she tried to help you with your abusive you know what. And we saw that on Love and Hip Hop, the way he was making her do freak offs. Remember when she was tired of all these threesomes and carrying on?
Oh, and now we know where all that came from. And see, now he might be in this and die.
He should be, since he's, one of Puffy's confidants, like Stevie J.
Oh, that's now also interesting that a lot of Love and Hip Hop people are probably gonna fall from this too. Like that one for Erica Mena. What's his name? Rich? Wasn't he associated with
Rich Dollars?
Yeah, affiliated people in Love and Hip Hop.
And Yamina and Jasmine's what's his Peter Gunn?
Yeah, those two.
Trifling.
Gonna just shake out all the cockroaches.
All Kalina had to do was stay quiet, like Mary and Kim and everybody else. But she had to open up her fat lips. Now she looking like she looking. Yep. Trifling heifer. That's what she get. I hope she get indicted too.
Well, he might have reminded her, I got you, doing the bending.
Listen, that's the thing, right? There has been extensive evidence in extortion, in witness intimidation, in bribery, rollout, all of that too. Who took hush money?
And that is also why he's been remanded to custody, is because they're like, this man has a habit of intimidating, of tampering. And I could definitely see if he was on the loose, paying people visits, orchestrating visits, using your enterprise.
That consisted of police.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
They
why
said,
the
we don't want your
FBI,
mansion.
they really did. They said, you ain't got shit for us but you.
Nope. He could have offered up an organ and they would have said, nope, sit down.
Really? He said 50 million bail. They said, nope, we're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep that.
I consider that for restitution.
Oh, that's true. You need to save that for the lawsuits, because a lot of other people, and I will say this, and I said this last night, and I feel today kind of proves me right. I think that the feds offered Cassie that tape so that she could get first crack at his fortune for turning state's evidence. They were like, we can't give you the money you deserve. Now, this is all alleged, but we can't give you the money you deserve, but we'll give you the tape if you'll work with us, if you'll testify, because if we got you on tape and you say, no, it wasn't like that, our case is sunk. But if you're willing to testify, we'll give you first crack. So she got the most. Everybody else is going to get driplets and droplets, but her check was cleared. She already probably shopping for a new house.
And the fact that the feds already confirmed all of that with the hotel staff from back in the day, that's concrete.
And could Cuddy's car magically, going boom boom.
It was like the video literally could have been narrated by the lawsuit. So, it was clear that the attorneys that wrote it or that brought that lawsuit were very well aware, other than what she said, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, the worlds collided that way with no mistake. And thank goodness, because look at that woman deserves every penny she got. What she had to endure, and that's the worst part, is that he specifically looked for young women and that were innocent, that wanted an opportunity in the music industry, and exploited them so badly and did such horrible things to them in order to make them complicit in this crap. He didn't just go with people who were broken enough that they could agree for the right amount of money to play this game. It was the breaking of innocent people that he enjoyed. And that is why all that's coming. Woo! Doggy. That's right, why this broke on an eclipse, because this is the end of a very dark era.
And you can also see that behavior in a lot of his TV shows, Making the Band.
Oh yes.
And then what is it? The assistant.
The
On
assistant.
VH1.
What was it with where Danity came through? Was that Making the Band as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Danity Kane.
I mean, and then also we can take it back even further. Let's take it back to Keisha, and Pam. Ooh. Let's take it back to the Locks. Let's take it back to Jadakiss. Let's take it back to the artist that he knew, I'm handing you a bad deal. I couldn't hand somebody a bad deal. Wait, have I? No. I did have to charge someone 16.5% of a year's rent, but I had to split that commission check 4 ways, and he had it. So it's different. That wasn't a bad deal. That was just what you was gonna pay, and that's why you paid me, because I found you that apartment, and that was I literally showed. I was like, oh no, I can get one for you, and he took the one I showed.
And also, does anybody know if there's been any more in-depth discussion about looking into what happened to Kim? Because his behaviors have potentially gone even into homicide, So
I have no right? No, how many people do we just that are going to come to the surface? No pun intended.
Now,
but oops.
That is what's going to happen, and that's why Diddy may cop a plea. This is the one reason why I feel Diddy may cop a plea, because all that type of information comes out in a little process we like to call discovery.
Mm-hmm.
That's where a whole bunch of extra charges come in, things that cannot be proven. Now, believe me, they have a whole bunch of other dots they can connect. But they're like, look, we've investigated. This is what we have. However, once they get even more people in talking, nailing down stories, they've got a lot of proof from, agencies and companies. Now they're going to wait to see, too, who's going to pull a little Kim and lie and perjure themselves. And then we've got even more right to dig into your business. So for them, this is a feeding frenzy. And so I could see him copping that plea to stay out of discovery, because in discovery, that's when I feel Kim Porter could end up exhumed for a toxicology report.
There's a couple
I
of
believe it.
angles regarding Kim. One angle is the fact that there's a heavy rumor going around that Diddy's last daughter's mother, who worked for a cybersecurity firm, bugged Kim's house. And that's how he got the bug in there by by the last kid's mom. And that's how he knew some of the things that was going on, which could possibly be motive as far as Kim not being here. The other is because Quincy is still around, um, he's the eldest of Kim's children. Now I know Kim's parents are still here, or at least one of them is still here. I think that because Quincy, and of course King Combs is riding and dying for his dad, because he was kind of lumped in it too by one of those yacht rides where someone said he was trying to take her stuff too. But as far as
Mm-hmm.
Quincy is concerned, there has been no allegations at all regarding Quincy, the only so-called son of his. And because I believe Quincy was around and knew that his mom was being abused all these years um, by Sean Combs, that it's something that he's not willing to hold against Puffy, because he was there in support of. He may not have been in the courtroom, but his presence was there enough to show support. And because of that, that may be a barrier as far as trying to possibly exhume Kim's body, or even going further detail into whether or not they can, do some DNA testing with Kim's body. And what do you think about that?
I think he could definitely be either a help or a hurdle, because
Hmm.
he's got some memories or some information where he could say, I could see maybe why I never thought he could hurt her, but now that all of this has come to light, I really see. Or he could be like, maybe my too, also like the family's been through enough. This is already enough. Maybe I'm just going to let
Uh-huh.
things lie. He could
I want to
definitely
know
hold
what
the key.
Kimura knows. I want to know what Kimura
Mm.
knows about it. That was her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Kimura knows a lot.
Kimura knows a lot, but Kimura also stay in the mess. Like, she married that guy who's like, I don't know if he's in prison now or waiting sentencing, with that whole Malaysia deal that Praz was involved in, and he's waiting for sentencing too, with that $20
Hmm.
million fraud. Yeah, I'm like,
Cut an immunity deal, Kimura, and go sang.
really? You need to put out an album at this point. You need to sing so much, you need to put out an album.
that rabbit hole may be too deep because we're talking about 20, 30 years of corruption between them two. Sorry, sad to say, but both of them have not lived an upstanding life, considering who her ex-husband is. Hello.
Mm,
For real.
not
And
down a
that
rabbit hole.
ex-husband's a circle back.
Listen, he might be one of those folks that is included, in this conspiracy charge or whatever. You know what I mean? Like one of the cockroaches that shakes out.
Wouldn't that be a
I
blend?
I could I could definitely see that. And also I want to know who's on the witness list. Oh God, can't this trial be public? I know it's not gonna be. I know. Well, I like some things they're not going to be able to show the public, but I want it recorded. I want cameras in the courtroom. I want to be there. I might have to go.
Emily D. Baker is there right now, the YouTuber. Emily D. Baker was there for his what was it, bail hearing, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Arraignment.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, they
Oh
was
yeah,
fighting
because
for
he ain't
him for
getting
bail
bail.
for a long time. They was in there for a long time trying to get him out. But because of those allegations, it's too risky. It really is he is innocent. We all know that. But it's too risky for him to be out. Plus, he needs to be sober. They arrested him with that stuff right there in front of him.
Touching on touching on that tussie, touching
I
on
mean,
that
it's
tussie,
like,
tussie, tussie,
okay, we all
tussie.
get it.
Ooh.
You going down, so one last hurrah. Okay, fine. But it's like, dude,
Mm,
you need to
mm,
be
mm.
clear headed and sober because just because you have a battery of attorneys don't mean that you can slip up. He needs to be sober minded for all of this.
I mean, I'm sure he's got some tussie in there right now.
So absolutely, and I think I bet you he's already got people that are like, "What you need, sir?"
That's true. I'm sure he's going to make his jail stay. And I was going to say, you may as well put your feet up. I don't think you're going anywhere for a while. Like a Snickers commercial.
I wonder if they're really. I honestly a plea deal. Do you know what I mean? Because the feds don't play the amount of evidence they're going to amass to get him.
But and that's why I kind of feel like there's only 3 charges. Um, and I think because they're going to be like, okay, we're going to let him think he can beat these 3, and then we're just going to keep pulling out more and more as the days go on.
If they suspect that Kim might have met foul play, they can exhume her body no matter who feels any which way about it. Now, I agree with you're saying, Ray all day. It would be probably important to have her children, Quincy, be able to testify to witnessing things. But there's Diddy's bodyguards been doing a lot of talking on YouTube, seeing that there's like that infamous incident, right, where Kim hid under a car.
Don
In the
Richard mentioned
street.
something about her, well, seeing her leave a studio battered as well. So
Right. I'm sure, see, that's the thing and that's what makes me feel so crazy about when we confront situations like this, like, our flyaway and Einstein and Henry Weinberger, like we were talking about last night. I won't say
Mm-hmm.
the names, because our live got reviewed last time. Um,
Yeah.
It's like it was so in our faces though. It was so bold and like the level of like victimization. It's staggering that you're just walking around this world and like we're watching Cassie and Diddy on the carpet at the Met Gala and he did that to her, you know? And we're all just watching and commenting and making jokes about the outfit or not.
that's what I was saying when I first came in on the live. Like, it's crazy to think about all of the people that we
Yes.
probably look up to and admire that's engaging or like allowing that kind of behavior to go on. And we're going to find out about it probably, hopefully, as the discovery, like Alex mentioned, happened. And I don't think I'm ready to, like, R. Kelly was a big blow because although he was a POS and people probably knew that, his music still resonated with me, and now I can't listen to it anymore. So I don't know how many other people that I used to love listening to or watching I can take falling from grace, you know?
I feel that I wasn't able to
Hmm.
listen to Can't See Me and You because I was like, damn, I now know what was going on. And I'm like, that's why you look so sad in the mirror. I thought it
Yeah.
was just because you were trying to be all pretty and forlorn. No, you were really fucking sad. No, I don't want to watch that. It's too, it's like after seeing that hotel video, it's like, let me watch something. Put out some new music, honey. I want to hear some of your new music. Good Lord. Because yeah, it's tainted because it's like I know where this came from and it's not a good place. And you want to think about music, people enjoying themselves in the studio, not you know nursing bruises.
That's what I like about like artists and music from back in the day. Like we know now after they died and like people came out and talked about their business that they were POSs. But back then there wasn't like social media and that big buzz around artists that you could just enjoy their artistry and not have to deal with the fact that they were abusive or like, pedophile. Oh, I'm sorry, PDFs, you know? But now we know all their business and we have to choose between like supporting them and all of their debauchery or just pretending to be ignorant and just still listening to their stuff.
Well, I do hope that this blows the lid off on all the predators in the entertainment industry because I grew up in Long Beach, which is literally about 30 minute on without traffic drive into Hollywood, and like it never ceases to amaze me the way that this industry was built on exploiting women particularly, but being and attracting every level of predator. So I just hope that this really starts to finally change the system because unfortunately, as we all know, he is one in a very long line. And that leads me to my question for the panel. Do we think that the ones who groomed Diddy into this, as the rumors say, are going to face something? Do you think that we're finally going to see Quincy Jones, Clive Davis, some of the level of that come to justice?
Well, I don't think Quincy Jones was a part of that personally, just from what I know about him. But
Hmm.
I don't think Diddy was groomed per se by this industry. I believe that started at home. I remember a long time ago when he spoke about his comeuppance. Listen, I've been in this rap and hip hop stuff since the beginning, and I used to watch a lot of those documentaries and shows how people were coming up. And he mentioned how his mom kept him and her because of who she dated in all these spiffy threads. They had the best fur coats and this, that, and the third. And it was pretty much his lifestyle. And when he's coming up, what was he, 54? So he's what, a 70s baby? It can't be far fetched to not think that he learned some of these things from the grimy lifestyle that he was pretty much surrounded by. He wasn't in a real snooty fox neighborhood. It was some grimy things he was surrounded by growing up. And like he said, when he got mad as a kid, he huffed and puffed, and that's where the puff came from, right? And then the girl commented about how some of these things that were reported by Cassie that she said he did to her in college. This was well before he was surrounded by or possibly groomed by these folks in this music industry. He was being introduced to the music industry when he was in his latter years of college. But the fact that that girl from college mentioned that there was possibly drugging and possibly assaulting of her, similar to Cassie, it just leads me to believe, like I mentioned before, that this started way before he was finally successful in this entertainment business and being introduced to more of the same of what he was already doing.
I agree with you, Ray Ray, especially like thinking of the saying that like money and power doesn't really make people into monsters. It just makes them more of who they already were. So I would agree with that.
Well, I will say this. Even my daughter's father had a production company and did some notable music videos. It doesn't necessarily create a monster, but it certainly sharpens its claws and makes it, because once you have access to people that are willing to do just about anything, in order to get ahead in the entertainment industry, that's where weird tastes can develop. You have all of this elitism, you have all of these people, you have sex parties in Hollywood. That stuff is real, orgies, like all of that stuff. So I
Mhm.
do absolutely think that the industry, I'm not necessarily saying Diddy, but the industry corrupts. So what it'll take someone who's maybe prone to violence and SA, and then they'll give them that this extra level of 1,000 bottles of lube and freak offs and getting, like it's
Girl.
become a complete production because you
I
have
want to
all
know
of that
how many
access.
bottles of poppers they found.
Ooh.
What about the poppers? The poppers are just they don't, did they not know what they were? Did they think, oh wow, they must have a lot of VCRs? Like, I know there was. Look, I'm sorry, you don't have Tussie deodorant and all these pills and potions and ain't got no poppers. Y'all had some poppers. Give the poppers their due. Y'all made baby oil the star. Why not put poppers in? We know they was
Excuse.
having some gay sex. And also, I know plenty of gays that have been to sex parties and they ain't nothing like this. They go, they bust it wide, they have a good time, everybody's having a good time, and then they go home, and that's it. And then they tell their friends about it. But it's like, one, it ain't going on for days. Two, finding out this crap went on for days. No wonder you needed baby oil. Imagine the
Jeez.
chafing.
I
You, you know, the baby oil doesn't do it for me personally. I need something thicker, something that's not so slippery. That just, because baby oil, in my opinion, I think that baby oil was for the men to make their body glisten, and or whoever is there, not necessarily for the act itself. Because I don't know if you
Okay.
know, but baby oil and the act ain't the thing. You need something thicker and
Yeah,
a
because
little
baby oil
more.
absorbs into the skin of it, quickly versus.
Right, right. That's more alcohol
Okay.
based,
So
petroleum.
he wanted to
Listen,
glisten.
he wanted greasy. Period.
He always does look very well moisturized. And now we know
Yeah.
why. A
No.
1,000 bottles of baby oil. You're bathing in the shit. He has an
Probably
oil, maybe
drinking
he
it.
has an oil fetish. He's got an oil fetish.
It sounds like
Oh,
it.
Lord, we know way too much about this man's sex life.
And we thought
Oh,
Rick James
I,
was the original super freak. I think Diddy didn't top Rick.
he
I
would
think
have
that
if
he
he
would
could
have
have.
topped.
If he could have gotten
Pun
it.
intended. Pun
Oh my God.
intended. Shit.
Great minds think alike. Yep. Oh my goodness.
Who's going to be the first celebrity to crack and say, okay, before y'all find out, let me tell you my side of the story?
Oh, that's a good one.
Hmm.
Somebody's going to try to get ahead of this and control the narrative rather
Stevie
than
J.
wait to
I
be.
was thinking that too. If they offer him enough money.
Stevie J will sing like a
I,
canary.
I think he needs to call Random House right now
Because his
and get a
dangalang is
book
in
deal
there. It is. He's
and his
on
pussy.
video. Video. Oh, heck yeah. I believe it. Honestly.
Yeah,
Those,
he gives that vibe.
oh my God. Especially when he was on the reunion, all, snow bunnied out with Joseline. Like,
Mhm.
you could just
Yeah.
tell that, right? Like, that man just gets high and wild. Anything goes.
And
That
I
was
want to
the pink
know,
powder.
do they have something on Viber?
Oh, what did he do to the children? What did he do to Bieber? What did he do to Usher? What did you know what I mean? What did he
Cheeks
do?
Mills.
I think Justin Bieber may be a crapshoot. Yeah, we have a heavy suspicion. There was a video of him in the club with some questionable movements going down the up, lips wet, stuff like that. Questionable videos of being groomed by Puffy. That may be sensitive because he just had a baby, right?
Yep.
Um, it'll take a whole now, even though he kind of went into Christianity and kind of changed his life over, all of that could be said of him going through something and trying to get over it. And sometimes, especially with men, that may be harder to get over, and then to have it blared and blasted for the whole world wide web to have in perpetuity. That it'll be very courageous of him if in fact he fits that description.
I don't think they themselves necessarily have to come out. I think with people trying to like make their cases stronger or trying to cover their own asses, might name people like Justin and Usher as like examples
Because,
of what they know.
because also they said they reached out to the escort companies. The toots are talking. The
Hmm.
toots are going to name names. They're going to be like, look, I am not about to be arrested for this mess. I'm not about to be hit with obstruction or perjury. Your ass was there. Your ass was there. Your ass was there. And when the toots start talking and collaborating, it's going to be that's why I feel like some people are going to come out ahead of this, because it's like, okay, some people are going to corroborate that I was there and I'm trying to say I wasn't, or I didn't see, or I didn't hear. And I don't even know, you might be on tape taking
Hmm.
it.
Oh
It
yeah,
might be.
and think about how
Go
many
on.
people are going to talk. Think about how many escorts, dancers, sex workers of every kind will start talking to different YouTubers, bloggers,
Ooh,
for
Flight
and
attendants.
ready to share their story for whatever that they can get for it. And why the heck not? They have the ones that had to endure all that crap. Let the truth be told. It happened to you too, you know? Like,
I got, excuse me. Go ahead.
oh no, I was just saying, like, the it's not just going to be Jack Wright anymore.
I got one for you. What
mm.
about all the cleaning staff of all the
Oh,
hotels
yuck. Oh, God,
that that were assigned to his room
yuck.
after the fact? I'm pretty sure they ain't got nothing to lose. Yeah, I had to clean this, that, and the third. It was this, that, and the third. Whoop de whoop de whoop.
Bought me
Yeah.
this rubber suit. I came in with, with a squeegee and a prayer.
Or like
Girl.
security
Mm.
officers or people that have to like look at surveillance, because I'm pretty sure he did that stuff at other hotels and stuff.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
he
it's about time to get those a-holes cracked too. The people that were
Ooh.
complicit.
Well, I would say those hotel people probably had an NDA, where if you saw that footage,
Hmm.
you can't release anything, you can't say anything. We're not mandated reporters. We have our procedure, yada yada. But now that the court's making them say it, now they're going to be free to tell their stories, because now the NDA's out the window. Everybody know.
And do NDAs cover like criminal activity?
Nope,
Mm-mm.
nothing covers criminal. The second the court, like, it now, okay, does it cover criminal? It's a gray area. When you have things like the Cassie incident in the hotel, that's a gray area, because Diddy did a lot of that, like buying the tape. You notice they didn't charge him with buying the tape, because legally you could purchase that tape. Now, the incident happened on hotel grounds, but fights happen between couples all the time. And if the couple's like, hey, look, we're fine. We're going to figure this out. Don't call the police. We don't want to be bothered. They have a right to not call the police.
I was thinking of more so like scenarios like where Don Richard, I try to pronounce it properly, brought up that there might be minors that were at certain freak offs, and if there were like staff people that were aware that that minors are engaging in stuff that they shouldn't be engaging in, I was thinking if NDAs would cover that kind of stuff.
No,
It
well,
wouldn't cover that, but they would also have to prove you knew that was a minor.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think at this point, for a lot of those people that signed an NDA, it's really for the private sector, because once you're subpoenaed by a federal prosecutor, you have to answer. You know what I mean? The only thing you can do is invoke the fifth. At that point, your Fifth Amendment right. But then, I mean, you know, you're putting a target on your back to be prosecuted yourself. And at this point, I bet you the feds are looking at what level, like they did with the Jen Shaw thing, what level are we going to offer immunity at the layers of this in order to make sure that we get the fish at the top, the whale.
Yeah, the whale.
Who's sitting in jail.
And you know what? They still haven't sentenced Scott Stewart yet.
No, they haven't.
This has been the wildest 24 hours. Well, let's see. What can we compare this? Really nothing. Because there's the level of he's probably going to take a plea, and I don't think everything's going to be quiet, even if he doesn't take a plea. I think that they're still going to start, popping more tags.
I think so many people are going to start talking now that this has gotten legitimized.
Yeah,
and now
that like things are no longer as alleged, like we say an alleged to cover our butts, but the courts aren't saying alleged. The courts are saying you did this, and it's going to be tough to prove. I mean, it's going to be tough to prove you didn't.
As far as those minors are concerned, they're gonna have to find them, and they're gonna have to corroborate. Yeah, I was 16. Yeah, I was 15. However old minor was. We were talking about 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, that's true. Minor could have been 16, under 16.
You know what? Where he was, in the States and all that stuff. It really depends on if they can find those random girls that came to these parties.
I saw an interview with his attorney that said, he's been aware since the raid on his LA home that this was like coming, or the Miami, when they did the raids, that this was coming. Can you imagine how long they've probably, like, by the time they raid it, you know what I mean? Everything they've been amassing. It's just staggering.
Well, on that note, let everybody know where they can find you.
Hey, it's Ray Ray All Day. You can find me on YouTube and Instagram at All Day Ray Ray. Videos coming out soon, and me and Aaron, we're always on the drag race train, and as soon as Southern Charm come out, we're going to get with that. So just check me out and go and subscribe. Thanks.
You can catch me on Ray Ray All Day's channel, like she just said. You can catch me on here when Alex asked me to join, or when I volunteer myself. And you can also catch me on Instagram at psychic_ELB, Psychic E, Psychic Aaron. If you'd like to get a psychic reading, just hit me up with the DMs and I'll give you a friends and family discount.
You can't really catch me anywhere. I'm not that much of an influencer. I'll be in Alex's comment section because I don't miss a video. That's about it.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining me, and y'all have a great night. Bye, y'all.